Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. My name is Wes Coons, and welcome back to the show. Hey, everybody, this is it. This is the 21-day episode I've been telling you about for a very, very long time. And today, we have a special guest from the Reiki Welness Center, from my close-knit set of friends, Eric Cohen. Hey, Eric, how are you?
Hey, Wes. I'm so glad to be here today. I'm honored that you asked me to come today on your final episode.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's been a journey, dude. I don't know if you listen to all of them, but we've got, I think, 23 full episodes of The Haunted House. And I remember Andrea and I talked about it over and over. I'm like, I feel as if I haven't only told maybe 50, 60% of the story, because
Wow.
there was just so much that happened on a regular day, just craziness. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I've been captivated by it, actually. So
Thanks.
it's been very captivating for me.
Thank you. It's bittersweet. I've enjoyed doing a lot of the podcasts, but it was so painful for me, especially now Andrea's not on the podcast. I've had some really cool guests on, and I know Andrea's listened to the show, but she's working on different stuff. I'm working on different things. I think my favorite one was I think it was episode 6, when I started talking about God, on how Jesus showed himself to me, and I placed my hands on his feet the day he was crucified. That bothered me. I was worried when we started how people were going to receive that. And, early on, almost immediately, I'm like, you know what? I am not here to convince you of anything. I'm telling my true story.
Hey-ho.
It's been a fucking crazy story. So a little recap. We've gone through everything. We're just coming out of the rebirthing ceremony. And one of the things, Eric, just a thought, that if I was going to you to do this sacred ceremony to save my life, and there was going to be 21 days afterwards, a period to solidify the ceremony, don't you think that might be a conversation?
I think that'd be a great conversation.
Well, it wasn't until I finished my ceremony, and Lakota says, "Okay, I'll see you in 21 days." I'm like, what does that mean? She's like,
and you can't talk about it.
yeah, you can't talk about it. She was pretty adamant about this that year. She doesn't beat it up so much this year. It was no drugs, no alcohol, no sex. If you're married, you could have sex, but if you weren't married, you couldn't have sex. And I'd gone through like 4 or 5 ceremonies that year. And like every ceremony, you're celibate for 21 days, which, these days is actually quite easy to do. Well, here you are.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. No, I remember asking Ty in the group. I said, "Hey, Ty." And he's like, "Yeah, man." I said, "So is oral sex? He's like, "Well, let me see. It's called what?" I said, "Well, Bill Clinton says that is not cheating in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm just saying." And he was the president of this beautiful country.
Hey-ho.
And I said, so I'm like, what if you're by yourself? I mean, like, and he's like, "You're fucking kidding me." He says, "I'm not asking Lakota that. You ask Lakota that." So I go to Lakota, right?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, "Hey, it's just asking for a friend." And she's like, "Damn, little brother." I said, "If you absolutely have to." I'm like, "Well, it ain't like that. I'm just curious. I mean, inquiring minds want to know, because there's like 19 people that just did this ceremony. They were sitting around saying, I didn't know I had to be celibate for 19 or 21 days. And she's like, "Well, if you're married, you can have sex." I'm like, "Well, I'm pretty sure if you're married, you're not having sex anyways." So it was fun, man. But we went up there, Eric, and you see this all the time, and I see this all the time now. But at that time, I didn't recognize it. There was Jackie showed up. She was in the ceremony. Dee and Ty, of course, Lakota, and Kennedy was there, my German. And then down at the base of the mountain was 6 or 7 people, the dreamers that are part of her group, that Dude, they took off work and drove halfway, well, mostly across not the United States, drove across the state of Virginia 8 hours
Mhm.
as a support for me. And at the time, I didn't understand the magnitude of that. At the time, I didn't appreciate
Mm.
I didn't it's not that I didn't appreciate it and I was being arrogant. I was just so fucked up. I couldn't see it, right?
Mhm.
And God, I was so angry. I was in so much pain and I was scared because if Eric, if that didn't work, my mind, I'm dead. The priest couldn't fix it.
Mm.
Nobody could fix it. Sandra Grace is like, hey, there's never been a home that she couldn't fix. She couldn't fix it.
Mm.
Gene Eng from California. If you don't know Gene Eng, do you know Gene Eng?
Mm-mm.
Dude, this guy, I think, is a retired neurosurgeon turned healer.
Mm.
And you'll sign up for a class and you'll have 70, 80 people on a Zoom. And he's like, so chill. He's like, okay, are you guys ready? And I'm like, yeah, man. And he'll just put his hands together in prayer position and close his eyes. And instantly it's like yarn being pulled through your brain
Mm.
as he's giving you an hour and a half download to 75 people over Zoom. I mean,
Mhm.
how is that even fucking possible, dude?
Mm.
This guy is crazy. Even Gene couldn't fix the house,
Mm.
right? So there was nowhere else if she couldn't do it. So we're coming off the ceremony. I've been laying in the grave for 18 hours. Ty, Jackie, and Dee were up drumming for 18 hours.
Holy
Hey,
shit.
Eric, hey man, come to my ceremony. So by the way, we get there and they're like, you gotta drum and stay awake for fucking until he's done. So 18 hours later,
Mm.
I've dug the grave, I'm laying in the grave, and for me, I'm just chilling back. I'm like, hey, no food and water. And I took a lot of naps. It
Mm.
was easy. That was the first thing that I have done the whole process that was easy. And so at one point in the middle of the night, Eric, I remember looking at the star and Lakota's like, I want you to ground to Mother Earth. And I'm like, fuck that. I ain't fucking
Mm.
ground. You know me, man. You
I
know.
do.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this star and I'm thinking, God, I wonder what it would feel like to be there. And all of a sudden my body got cold. I didn't know I was astro projecting. I didn't
Mhm.
understand that. And if you're at Lakota's house, we're up there by the peace chamber, the distance from her house there.
Mhm.
If you got out of bed, it's going to be a minute or two to get where I was at. I think she was there within 3 or 4 seconds. She can just appear. It's fucking bizarre.
Mhm.
And she's yelling at me. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're astro projecting. I'm having to wake up and come get you." And she's talking about it last week. I had to come get you and bring you back here and blah blah. She was pissed
Mhm.
because if I don't know how to get back, that's where schizophrenia and stuff. You get lost in that other realm. And I remember for weeks after that, probably a couple months, anytime I'd look up, I could feel, because I don't ever get cold, and I would feel myself leaving my body and getting cold. I don't feel that happening now, but I also don't try it.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I should look at it. I don't know. I just haven't felt called to do it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if I did every single gift that I could do, and fuck, I could do a lot. We all can, right?
Amen.
I just kind of stay in my wheelhouse and do what I feel called to do. But you've been up there on that mountain several times.
I love that
It's
place.
beautiful, isn't it?
Great.
I remember you did your first heart dance and we didn't really know each other well then. And you're sitting over there, like up against a tree with your fucking shoes off and the big smile on your face. And I'm looking at you. I'm like, that motherfucker is happy as a clam. I'm over here fucking, still miserable and working through my stuff, but you're so further down your journey than I am. But you had this beautiful smile every single time. I love that about you. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you about things and I'll piss and moan or whatever. And you're like, so where's the reflection in your life? And I'm like, fuck you, Eric. Fuck you, Eric is what I say. And I say it to your face too. Fuck you, Eric, while
You
we're
do.
having Sunday breakfast and you're laughing your ass off.
Mm.
But you're right.
Well, I think you were right about being Mr. Grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed my grounding.
Mr. Grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to call you Mr. Grounding from now on.
So I try to stay grounded now. It's hard for me to stay grounded, man. I want to be gone. It's taken me.
But when you connect to the earth,
Mhm.
you can really fly.
Yeah, you can. So we finished the ceremony, right? And I think everybody from down below came up. We had a feast. We have a feast afterwards.
The best.
Yeah. But Lakota tells me there's 21 days, and dude, I'm beside myself. I'm truly, I thought in my heart when it was done, it was done.
Mm.
I didn't process, which I should have known because all the other ones had 21 days afterwards, but I didn't process I had that. And I remember Jackie was there and I pulled her aside. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, this is fucking bullshit, dude. I was furious because dude, this has been 6, 8, 9 months of pure torture.
Mm.
I get up out of the grave. The shit didn't stop crawling on me.
Mm.
They didn't stop tormenting me. The honest answer is it was a few years before they stopped crawling on me.
Mm.
And then till one day, I really paid attention and I listened to your fucking wife tell me and Lakota and some other people that they're not there anymore. It was my mind that felt like they were crawling on me. The funny thing that really stopped it, I did a parasite cleanse.
Mm.
I did a parasite cleanse.
Why not?
We don't talk about that in the United States of America. I had chickens, horses, turkeys, peacocks, dogs, cats. I was in the Marine Corps. I was overseas. You eat food over in places. You know, people need to take parasite cleanse.
They do.
And when I did that, it stopped.
Hmm.
So was it parasites I felt crawling in me? I don't fucking know.
I had a friend once that said, things that make you go,
Yeah.
She's on the other side. She's laughing now.
I believe that. I hear those things. Things didn't stop. And so we're down there having the feast and getting ready to go back. I think we stayed the night and went back the next day. And I remember Lakota called me and said, I hear you're upset. And I'm like, yeah, I thought it was going to be over. She's like, you got 21 days. You got 21 days. It'll be over in 21 days. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? You know why? I mean, I fucking understand now because I love Lakota. If there's something happening, I ask a lot of leading questions because what does this look like and what does this mean? And because she's the healer and she's doing something, she doesn't see all the dynamics, right? So I help her with her stuff and I connect the dots. She does the work and I connect the dots for her and it works well and it helps her make money. She'll be here in a couple of weeks doing a sweat lodge. And if you want to do any work with Lakota, she's going to be here. I got her schedule. Reach out to me. I'll get it to you. And I'm actually going to put that up on Instagram today at VB Healer. We go back and everybody's gone, right? I mean, the healers are gone. Everything's done, but I ain't fixed. And that 21 days, Eric, was the worst 21 days of all of it. They tormented me more in that 21 days than they did the whole time because they, as I look back now, they knew it was ending. They knew they had 21 days to get me to commit suicide or I don't know what else they could get me to do, but they had 21 days. I'm still living in the KOA. The house wasn't fixed. I did my thing. I got used to walking around with like roaches crawling in my eyes and my ears and my groin and my backside and being fucking beside myself, miserable. People yelling at me at the office, why aren't you here? Where the fuck are you at? You need to be present. And I did that. And somewhere in there, Diana came to see me. She came a couple times and she'll be on the show soon. Her cousin just died. I think Kim was 52. Just fucking horrible. But at least she's not suffering. So, but I remember she came and she's like, she always says, all righty then.
Yep.
She walked into my trailer and there's fast food wrappers, there's beer cans. It's a bachelor pad. It stunk. The curtains were down. It smelled of dog. I probably hadn't washed my sheets in a while. It was bad. And just got things cleaned up and picked me up and took care of me and get your ass in the shower and come on, we're going to get out. Let's go get something to eat. But that 21st day, I get up and I'm walking from the back of the camper to the front and I seen something stepping towards me, and I panicked for a second, and it was the inside of a breastplate of armor, and they put it on my chest, and something was behind me, and literally my body's being pushed back and forth 2 or 3 inches on each side, and I look down, and I could see these old woman's hands with, I don't know if it's like a bone or wood that they used as a needle, threading it through my skin. It didn't hurt, but threading that into me and putting this armor on. And I remember calling Lakota and telling her, and she's a la 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 thing she does, and she's laughing, and but it wasn't over. Didn't stop it. It didn't go, okay, we're done. They fucked with me and fucked with me for a very, very long time. We talk about on this show finding the beauty in the pain, and we talk about you get that drug addict in to the hospital and they get that 2 or 3 days of clarity, or the alcoholic, and they're not drunk for a couple of days, and you plant that seed of you can have something, you could be something, you can do something. There is a proven system that does not fail in NA, in the Narcotics Anonymous program. What is that system?
I think it's the 12 steps.
Yeah, it is. Do what the other fuckers did that survived. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. And so,
It is the easier, softer way.
yeah. So I took my Marine Corps mindset of surviving boot camp 15 minutes at a time. I'm like, it's not like I was going to go anywhere, but I'm like, I can do 15 minutes. Then I did another 15 minutes. Then I did another 15 minutes. And I did another 15 minutes. And okay, well, tomorrow's coming. I'm going to bed. And that's how, in my mind, I survived boot camp until I got to the rifle range. Then it was fucking easy after that. The rifle range was like it's like being in the Coast Guard or something. You damn near might as well have had fucking visits from the girlfriend at that point. But I had for my mental sanity to break it down 15. I could do 15 minutes. I can survive 15 minutes. And you know how many 15 minutes I did through that haunted house? I'm not going to pull the trigger for 15 minutes. I'm not going to do it till lunchtime. Well, maybe I can wait till dinner time. Well, I can wait till tomorrow. Then I won't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And I did that because somebody told me one time, he said, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. And I'm like, yeah, I see miracles. We see miracles all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Somebody.
You're my miracle.
You're my miracle, motherfucker. Don't mean I'm going to take a cold shower with you, but yeah, I love you.
Oh, man. You look so good today, too.
Yeah, fuck you. But
your eyes are sparkling.
Stupid. Hey, you got lunch with your wife a little bit.
I know.
But
You made me blush.
you're stupid. I love your ass, man. But it's that sometimes that's what we got to do. And the 21 days didn't fix it. But you know what the 21 days did do? It gave me faith. What fucking just sewed something into me? What was that? I mean, the hard part for me to process, everything I went through in that haunted house was so painful, was so horrible, was so everything. Like when I was in that hotel and I had that sleep paralysis, and when I woke up and I gasped for air and something crawled into down my throat, into my chest, and I could see something moving underneath my shirt. I could feel the bones cracking. I could feel the organs getting moved around as it made a nest. Dude. I mean, that haunts me still today. You know? And the thing on Lakota's Mountain was so easy. I'm like, did it work? Because nothing peeled the skin off me. Nothing fucking gouged me. Nothing hurt me. I'm watching Ty and them work their ass off trying to drum at 4 a.m. You hear where they start to fall asleep and the drum falls on the ground. I'm like, bitch, that's a sacred drum. They're like, shut the fuck up. You know, you're not supposed to talk. And the last time I went up to the mountain, I noticed she had filled the grave in. It had been open for years. And we'd go up there, and I'd always see it, but I'd never go up to it. I didn't want to touch it. And so I had that faith, and the 21 days came, and I was waiting for Lakota to come fix the house. And So she came, I don't know, it was about 30 days after we did the ceremony, and she meets me at the house with Ty, and she's walks up to the house. She said, "It's already fixed." I'm like, "What do you mean it's already fixed?" I'm like, I guess what had happened is she kept saying I was the key. Once she fixed me, that goes away. And I don't understand how that worked.
Mm.
And she went in there and there was this little old lady, this dead lady there. She was the only one. And she's sitting there talking fluid conversations with this person. Ty and I are looking at each other like, what the fuck? Ty's like, white people, man. Y'all are crazy. And she said that she had lived in the neighborhood and always liked me. And that's why she was there. I think she was a little old lady that was always washing dishes. She said that they all had gone. They were afraid of her. They were afraid of Lakota. So from the sunroom to the dock was an energy line there. So if you walked across it, you could feel it. It was like crazy. And all of a sudden, Lakota's not talking. Well, maybe she was talking in Lakota. I don't know. She was doing something, and all of a sudden, Ty and I could smell, what are those big white flowers? I forget the name of the flower, but it's very fragrant. And now this is October, okay? So there's not any blooming flowers. It's October.
Mhm.
And Ty and I are looking at each other like, where Gardenia? Gardenia?
Yep.
Is that how you say it? So he's like, where are those? And she starts giggling. She said, the energy field that you're feeling is the Native Americans that live there were walking back and forth and getting water in another dimension, right?
Mhm.
So she told them to carry these flowers so we knew that they were safe. And the whole backyard was full of that smell. I'm like, that's crazy.
Mhm.
I didn't see them. I didn't hear them. I didn't feel them, but we smelt it.
Mhm.
And she sang 3 songs in that house. 3 fucking songs. You gotta figure, um, Linda, Kathleen, Sandra Grace, other people, Karen, combined hundreds of hours of some of the most powerful people that I've ever experienced in my life. The big jet flying over right there.
Mhm.
Some of the most powerful people I've ever experienced in my life couldn't touch it.
Mm.
And Lakota sang 3 songs, and she had a smile on her face. You know, Lakota's this little teeny tiny thing, and
Mhm.
she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She says, "Okay." I go, "What do you mean?" She said, "It's done." I'm like, "You sang 3 fucking we've waited this time."
Mm.
And the funny thing, Eric, she wouldn't do the ceremony because her grandkids were there. Well, the ceremony was a day. You couldn't have sent the grandkids down to Liama's house 10 miles up the street, done the ceremony, and they came back. It didn't work that way.
Lakota works in her own way.
Yeah. Well, had she done it fast,
Mm.
I would not have stepped into the healer I am. I would have stayed at the house.
Mhm.
I would have gone back to real estate.
Mhm.
I would have not gone and done and became the thing I'm supposed to become. When I look back now at the beauty and the pain and see how all that lined up and how all that was, because I could never understand why everything took so long.
Yeah, but as you shed that like the leaves of a tree. And what does the leaves of the tree do for the tree? It fertilizes the tree.
It does. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Mhm. Well, think about the process.
Yeah.
The leaves fall so that the winter winds don't knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the leaves come down as mulch because the wintertime is the most important part for the tree. Doesn't look like it's doing much, but that tree is extending its taproot. It's extending its lower roots so that when it does have the leaves that come back, when the summer winds come, that it can hold its ground. But those leaves drop to fertilize
Yeah, I
it.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
So think about that whole experience that you're sharing
Mm-hmm.
is fertilizing you
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, I like that. So Lakota leaves, Ty leaves. I fucking hauled ass. I wasn't staying in that place. You know, I don't care what she said. So I went back to the KOA and my security cameras, you could see the energy, you could see stuff. And
Mm.
I think it was 6 or 7 days. And I had Carrie worked for me at the time. And we had the listing agreement all written up and everything. And on the 7th day, I gave it 7 days. I said, "There's nothing there." And we listed that house and sold it relatively quickly, and I just remember standing in the backyard. I think this is the day we listed it. I'd met the camera person there, and Carrie is a sweetheart. She really stepped up and did a lot of things for me because it was so hard, and I wasn't gonna go in the house. Just standing in the backyard and looking at all the possibilities, this beautiful during this whole process, I was redoing the swimming pool, and I built a gazebo and I connected it to this shed, and when I connected it, it broke these city regulations, and the neighbor across the street,
Mm.
who he and I weren't friends, calls the city on me. So all this bullshit. So I'm fighting, going through all this stuff, spending shit tons of money trying to get stuff done. Just lots of weird things were happening. So this is all complete. This thing is beautiful. The backyard is beautiful. It's this kidney-shaped pool with a waterfall and just all these
Mm.
wonderful things. And I just couldn't see or experience the beauty of any of it.
Mm.
I was just, Christina was gone. I knew I was never gonna marry that girl, but I fell in love with Connor, that little boy of her nephew, and
Mm.
all these memories, all these things, and I'm just standing there in the cold by myself, you know? You know what I did? I put one foot in front of the other, you know? I got Jackie and Ty to come over, and we did a grab and go, and I threw everything I could in clear plastic bags and threw them in the back of my trailer, and I sold everything in the house. And I took the loss and moved forward. In the next episode, we're going to talk about where I move next and stuff, because this officially ends the story of the haunted house. I told 98% of the things that happened to me. There's some things that I'm just not going to share.
Mm.
Some of the things that were really painful, I'm not going to share. I am just grateful that this part of the show's over.
Mm.
It's almost, a little bit of it is almost sad. Almost. But now I get to start telling the story of love.
Oh.
Never thought I'd say those words. Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand where I was in this story at this point. I can tell you that. I mean, I'd lost so much fucking weight. I looked horrible.
You look good today.
Oh, I'm a sexy motherfucker today. I'm changing the world by changing me.
Yeah, you know it.
You know, I
I
mean,
do.
we're one vibrational shift away. Andrea says this all the time. I think she says it. You're one vibrational shift away from being the person that you want to be.
Mhm.
You know,
So why not be it?
yeah, I'm working on that, man.
Mhm.
I'm working on that.
I think you're doing it.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking at those things. I was working with my friend Megan. She'll be on the show sometime, Nate's wife, and she's helping me with a lot of things too. I'm open to do the work. I do the work. I mean, if there's one thing you say about me, Wes Coons does the work.
Mm.
I might not be perfect. I might not be politically correct. I might not be a lot of things, but motherfucker, I do the work, and I'm a good person, and I heal people at a very, very high level. And Jesus flows through me at a high level to heal me, and together we heal the world.
Yes, you
I
do.
can tell you that. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yep.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
Yep.
helped heal me.
Yeah, you helped heal me. And my friend Jessica is stepping into building her website right now. I don't know if you met Jess or not, and she's a powerful healer stepping into her gifts and power. And
Mm.
I think I frustrate her a little bit, but she's like, "You're supposed to show me this." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm busy this week," or because I'm going through things. It's her journey, right?
Mhm.
And she's stepping into it, and she's not giving up. She's powerful as fucking shit. So I can't wait for you to meet her. She's gonna be on the show soon. Jess, you're gonna be on the show soon, just so you know. So it's gonna be good. So Eric, I appreciate you being here, man.
Wes, this has been, like I said when I started, it's an honor, and you're my brother. You're a
Yeah.
brother, and Lakota sees it in us. She's taken us under her wing. That's a great honor in itself too. And I love you. I love you,
Love
brother.
you too.
So you have helped me through some times and challenges here recently. We're going to probably get into that in the next episode. I appreciate this. This has been like I said, it's an honor for me to be here. After listening to your episodes, you are changing the world, and you're going to help veterans, and you're going to help people.
Mhm.
I see a vision for you. You may not see it, but I see it as clear as day.
Yeah.
So keep getting it.
Thanks, man. I love you. And thank you for listening to this show. This is just one part of the journey. So the haunted house stuff is done. Diana's going to come in at some point in time and she's going to give her insight. But basically, that's it. That's the haunted part. Now we're starting to talk about the cool part of what's next.
Let's do it.
When everybody was gone, when I'm standing there by myself, lonely, sad, broken, stuff still messing with me, but something changed. The haunted house part changed. So we start talking about that.
And I think your team steps in a little bit and kind of points you in some right directions because we always have that team.
Oh, yeah.
We're never alone.
No, we're not alone. We're not alone. So thank you, Eric. Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you taking me out on this last episode. And starting the next episode is fucking fantastic because we recorded them backwards. Yeah, we had to bring God into the house to finish the other, right?
Yes, we did.
But I love you. I love your family. Thank you so much. And everybody, thank you for listening to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. Find me on VB Healer, and I'll see you soon.
Hey ho.